Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this pale blue dot that we all live on. My name is Adamantium, and welcome to this edition of AAU TZM podcasts. Just the usual announcement for those of you listening to this on YouTube right now. My podcasts also exist on talkshoe.com. You can find a direct link to the call series in the video description. So just for those of you who wanted to listen to and download the full 60-minute podcast for free in MP3 format, you can do that there. But that's that announcement. Just an extra announcement. This show is actually being recorded on the 30th of October 2012, and due to events that are pertinent right now, I'd just like to send out my wishes and my regards to any of our American listeners. I can tell that by the time you guys hear this, you will be going through a lot of difficult times. So just from myself and from my guest, who I'll be bringing on in a moment, we wish you well and hope you have a speedy recovery. But those for the announcements, and today I'm very pleased to have Aaron Moritz, otherwise known as Say Days Ago, on my show. So if you'd like to say hello, Aaron.
Hi everybody, it's good to be here.
Cool. It's a good thing to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's good to be here. It's been a while since I did much radio stuff.
Cool. Well, as per the title of this show, one of the things that I actually picked this up from Neil Kiernan as one of the things that I appreciated that he did, to ask people how they became an activist, or at least a free thinker, and for a guest to sort of like talk our audience through how they got started. So to pose that question to you, what sort of things inspired you to be a free thinker and to pursue the course and direction that we advocate?
I think initially my sort of opposition to the system, I guess the mainstream political and socioeconomic system, was inspired by music. Definitely, when like in high school and even junior high school to some extent, I was very into, I guess, punk music. A lot of the older kids who were into punk music said that it wasn't punk music because it's not as hardcore, but I don't know how much of that is just teen angst, but there was a lot of lyrics in there that really spoke to me, and a lot of lyrics that were very political, very anti-capitalist, very just socially conscious, and I think those kinds of things really just sort of started me thinking along that path, and sort of oriented my views in that direction. But there wasn't anything concrete to grab onto in all of that. It was more just, like, fuck this shit. It's just this very angry, like, lashing out, and not so much of a, okay, well, here's how we can make it better. And it stayed, I think, that way for quite a while. I didn't really have any specific views or ideas that I really felt were my own that I clung to at that point. It was more just the general feeling of, this isn't fair, and why do I have to go to the school? It's stupid, and work and all of that. So when the first Zeitgeist came out, I remember I was one of the last of my friends to see it. I was living in a house with 4 of my friends, and we were all in a band together, and we'd moved there just after high school, and I remember them all telling me, oh, you got to watch this movie, this Zeitgeist movie, it's crazy. They were showing me little clips of it, and I remember I sat down to watch it for the first time, and I thought it was okay. I hadn't heard a lot of the stuff before, like about 9/11 and the banking stuff and all of that sort of, for lack of a better term, grand conspiracy ideas. If you remember, it's not in the new cut of the movie, but in the original cut, there was a part at the end where Peter gets a little dramatic and he says, and this is all part of a plan these men have been putting together for years to microchip us, and he goes into RFIDs. I think the RFID chips are still in there, but there was just this moment that I remember cringing at the first time. And
yeah, it's when he says one world government.
Yeah, the words, big block letters up on the screen. But so I liked the movie. I remember that my line at the time that I told everyone was I thought it was a really good movie, but that I didn't really know how true any of it was, and I was able to pretty much dismiss it pretty easily. But I did like it enough that when the second one came out, I watched it right away. I was excited to see it. I like when there was the previews and all that. I think I was the first one of my friends to watch the second one, and that one really just like hit me, and especially the end part where they bring in Venus Project and Jacques Fresco, and just I totally connected with that idea. It seemed so logical and just so reasonable and so, possible. I mean, on one level it seemed impossible that we could get all the people in the world to agree to it, but just technically possible that we could do this, that we had enough stuff, enough know-how to create a society that actually works. So I think that movie, that really hit me hard, and that sort of changed my view into there is something we can do about it, and I think this is what it is. Although I wasn't too sure about the specifics, and I don't think I became I don't think I started talking to people about it and becoming very gung-ho and very much of an advocate until I saw the orientation guide, because I think I'm a very left brain thinker, and the orientation guide, a lot of people said it was dry, it's very slow, it's not like the movies with a lot of flash and stuff, but it was a lot of information, and it answered all the questions that I had, all the objections I might have had, and from that point on, I was pretty much just on board. I thought this is what I'm advocating, and I want to, be part of this group that's pushing for this future, because I think this is the way to go.
Absolutely. I found a similar affinity for the Activist video itself, because the thing is about Peter Joseph's voice is that it's so soothing and reassuring. I mean, if you were to compare like his voice to like the voice of any other sort of socially conscious filmmaker, I mean, like compare it to Michael Moore's voice. He's got a sort of like family friendly voice.
Sure.
Alex Jones, he's Alex, he's got like this whole different voice that he uses when he's narrating his films. It's like a complete scaremongering voice. But then you have Peter's voice, and you almost get the impression that, everything is going to be okay, and that's one of the things that I found. I actually, for a period of about, I think 2 or 3 months, every single night, I used to fall asleep listening to the audio of the orientation video, because Peter's voice is so eloquent and so soothing, but also so informative as well, that, as you said, it's a lot of really good information, and he puts it out in this really good, concise way, and you sort of think to yourself, instead of watching any film where you're left with this sort of like fear of, oh no, everything's going to pot, oh no, what are we going to do? Instead, with Peter and his stuff, the brilliant thing that I really respect about his work is you have this clarity of thought. You think to yourself, right, these are the problems, but instead of feeling all scatterbrained, because the problems have been presented, you're also presented with possible solutions, viable solutions, not the only solution. I mean, that's one of the things that we get accused of quite a lot, that we claim to have the only solution. No, it's not the only solution. It's just a viable solution that we perceive is, technically possible. And you come away with that thought saying, right, yes, we got the problems, they have been explained, but we also have the solution as well,
Yeah, definitely. And I had similar experience. I don't think I listened to the audio of the orientation guide over again, but when I first discovered the ZM Global show, where it was just, I can't remember what it was called at that point, when it was just Peter's show, but there was a ton of back catalog, and for a few weeks his voice was just constantly in my ear, whispering sweet nothings.
Did you? I take it you. When was it that you came to the movement?
I started kind of really visiting the site. I think I registered my forum account right after I saw the orientation guide. Because as far as I know, I remember going to the site right after Addendum, and there was nothing there other than a mailing list. Just like enter your email here. And I did, and then I kind of forgot about it for a while. And after the orientation guide, there was activity there going on, but I don't know how much time and effort I put into it right away. It was sort of a gradual building up of interest and things. I think as I listened more to the radio shows and talked with people on the forum, I just started getting more and more interested and more passionate about doing activism for Zeitgeist. And I'm trying to put it in a timeline, because I remember going to, it wasn't the first meeting in Edmonton. Edmonton, Alberta is where I was living at the time. Yeah. And I don't think I was there for the first meeting, because they had held a Z Day in 2009, I think. Yeah, 2009. Yeah. Where they had just played, I think, Addendum and the orientation guide and all that, and I didn't go to that. But I think after that, they kind of fell off, and there wasn't much activity. And after a while, I saw a few people on the forums propose, like, let's have a meetup here. And I think that was really the sort of the booting of Zeitgeist Edmonton, the rebooting. And I was at that meeting, and from that point on, I was at pretty much every meeting and part of everything that group did. And that group changed quite a bit over the time. I think I was the only person from that original meeting who was there 2 years later or so when we did the screening for Moving Forward. Yeah. And so for a while there, that was a pretty big part of my life, doing Zeitgeist Edmonton. Group stuff.
So you'd say that by the time you started to really seriously get involved with making things happen, you came across the radio show, and did you find, like me, that there was a lot of shows that you hadn't listened to yet? And when I found that, I was like, crikey, there's something like, because I came to the movement around about August 2009, and by that time the Peter's radio show had been going on for a while by then. So I was like, there's this whole backlog of episodes that I've got to catch up with, and I felt so excited to have all this material to catch up with, and I'm like, oh, brilliant. Did you find that as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. There was exactly the same thing. And he was doing it pretty regularly at that point. I think every 2 weeks, and then he'd have the Venus Project on every other episode. And I loved listening to all of that. It was amazing.
Yeah, there's one. That's one of the things that I find good about the global show, that it's probably the most frequent thing about